Have you ever felt like you were standing in your own way? You have the dream. You have the talent. You have the pure ambition. But there is a voice inside that whispers, "What if you aren't good enough?" That voice is the thief of progress. It is the shadow that falls over your potential. We call it low self-confidence, but in reality, it is a set of learned patterns that have convinced you to play small in a world that needs you to play big. If you are struggling with self-doubt today, I want you to hear me clearly. You are not born this way. No child is born doubting their worth. No infant wonders if they are good enough to learn to walk. Confidence is your natural state. Everything else is just noise that was added later. To fix the engine, we first have to understand what gunked up the gears. The architecture of doubt. Why we lose our way. Self-confidence doesn't just disappear. It is eroded over time by experiences that tell us we are less than we truly are. For many, this starts in early childhood. If you grew up with overly critical caregivers or teachers who focused only on your mistakes, you may have developed a mental blueprint that says your value is tied to your performance. When a child is told they aren't doing enough, they don't stop loving the parent, they stop loving themselves. Then comes the social pressure. We live in an age of digital comparison. We scroll through the highlight reels of thousands of people and compare them to our behind-the-scenes struggles. This creates a status gap in our minds. We start to believe that everyone else has it figured out, while we are just faking it. There is also the weight of past trauma. Experiences of bullying, social rejection, or workplace harassment leave emotional scars. These experiences train our brains to stay in defense mode. We stop taking risks because our subconscious is trying to protect us from being hurt again. And finally, there is the most dangerous trap of all: perfectionism. Perfectionism is just fear in a fancy suit. When you set impossibly high goals, you guarantee your own failure. And every time you fail to meet those unrealistic standards, you provide more evidence to that inner critic that you don't have what it takes. But here is the most important insight I can give you: confidence is not a requirement for action. Confidence is the result of action. The path to power. How to rebuild the stealth. If confidence is a muscle, then we need a training program. We need to stop waiting for the feeling of confidence and start building the evidence of capability. The first step is to audit your inner dialogue. We talk to ourselves more than we talk to anyone else on earth. If you talked to your best friend the way you talk to yourself during a mistake, you wouldn't have any friends left. You must learn to recognize the automatic negative thought. When you hear yourself say, "I'm going to mess this up," you must pause. Replace it with a growth mindset. Say, "I am learning how to handle this." You aren't lying to yourself. You are simply choosing a more accurate and helpful narrative. Second, we must end the comparison war. Your journey is unique. Comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20 is a recipe for misery. The only person you should try to be better than is the person you were yesterday. Focus on your own values. Focus on your own small wins. When you win, no matter how small, acknowledge it. Your brain needs to see that you are a person who gets things done. The biological foundation of confidence. You cannot build a skyscraper on a swamp. Your mind and your body are one system. If you are sleep deprived, eating poorly, and never moving your body, your chemistry will naturally lean toward anxiety and low self-worth. Movement is a confidence hack. When you exercise, you aren't just burning calories, you are proving to yourself that you can endure discomfort. You are releasing endorphins that naturally reduce stress patterns. Proper sleep and nutrition give you the emotional fuel to handle challenges without crumbling. Self-care is not selfish, it is maintenance for the machine of your ambition. The strategy of small wins. The biggest mistake people make is trying to fix their entire life in one day. This triggers the fear of failure and leads to procrastination. Instead, I want you to use the micro-goal strategy. If you are afraid of public speaking, don't start by booking a stadium. Start by speaking up in one meeting. Just one sentence. When you do that, your brain records a win. The next day, the fear is slightly smaller because the evidence of your ability is slightly larger. We build confidence through competence. The more you do, the more you realize you can do. Every mistake is not a verdict on your soul, it is simply data for your next attempt. Curating your environment. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If your circle is full of people who complain, criticize, and play small, you will find it nearly impossible to stand tall. You must be the architect of your social circle. Spend time with people who challenge you, but also support you. Seek out mentors who have walked the path you want to walk. And for the voices in your life that only bring you down, limit their access to your mind. You wouldn't let someone dump trash in your living room, don't let them dumped out in your head. The Pure Ambition Guide to Resilience. There will be days when the old patterns return. There will be days when you feel like a fraud. In those moments, I want you to remember the heroic perspective. Every great leader, every business titan, and every person you admire has felt exactly what you are feeling right now. Confidence isn't the absence of fear. Confidence is the decision that your vision is more important than your fear. If the struggle feels too heavy to carry alone, there is no shame in seeking guidance. Insights from coaches, mentors, or counselors can help you unpack the patterns of the past and provide you with better habits for the future. Asking for help isn't a sign of weakness, it is the ultimate act of self-leadership. Meet your new identity. As we close this session, I want you to do something for me. I want you to look at your hands. These are the tools of your ambition. I want you to look at your life. This is the canvas of your potential. Stop waiting for permission to feel confident. Stop waiting for someone else to tell you that you are worthy. You were born worthy. You were born capable. The world is not looking for perfect people. The world is looking for people who are brave enough to be themselves. Tonight, identify one small thing you have been avoiding because of lack of confidence, and tomorrow morning, do it. Don't do it perfectly. Just do it. And then do it again the next day. This is how the furnace is built. This is how the mindset is forged. This is how you become unbreakable. Go out there and show the world what pure ambition really looks like. I believe in you. Now, go believe in yourself.